Talk about DL women. Y'all talk about DL men all the time. You always talk about men. Let's talk about the DL women and why they are so obsessed with the lesbians. Let's talk about what actually a DL woman is. It's women who are emotionally, sexually, or romantically attracted to other women, but are openly living in that truth. So they may be in heterosexual relationships or marriages. They often are scared of being judged, rejected, or losing comfort and safety. But their curiosity, desire, connection with women keeps bubbling up. So when they meet a confident, open, emotionally free lesbian, ooh, child, it's like game over. And let's talk about it, because I know a lot of people, especially a lot of straight women I've known have said this. Oh, no other woman made me feel this way but you. And that could be true. You have a lot of straight women that don't like girls, but they like this one particular girl. But you still like girls, bitch. That's what I'm trying to point to. It doesn't matter if it's just me. You still have an attraction to women. See, lesbians carry that I know myself energy. DL women are often confused, depressed, still figuring out. Lesbians are confident in their desires. They are emotionally bold and unbothered. They aren't seeking validation from men. They have freedom, softness, and that power. That combo is magnetic as fuck. So that confidence is very addicted to somebody that's still hiding. Also, lesbians offer emotional safety when men don't. Let's be real. Some men, or men in general, don't always know how to emotionally nurture a woman. Down low women or straight women often feel unheard, unseen, touched but not felt. That's the key. Or loved conditionally. Lesbians, especially soft femmes as myself, with emotionally intelligent, provide validation without shame, gentle touches with meaning. So when I touch you, baby, I mean that shit. Real conversations. I'm not asking you what you're doing every fucking day, all day. I want to know genuinely how your day was, how you feel. What made you cry today? Did something upset you? Also, we give you space to feel seen and soft without a performance. So this hit different. Once they feel that, it's hard to go back to surface levels conversation. So for example, you've been talking to a straight woman and y'all been having these deep convos. I'm talking about literally everything. It feels kind of like weird when you go back to surface levels conversations because you're so used to talking deep with this woman. Also, let's talk about the sexual chemistry. It's explosive. Let's be real. Some women, especially DL women, or let's just say straight women in general, are sexually unsatisfied. They're curious to be touched with care. They're fantasizing about intimacy that's more slower, deeper, softer, and just mutual. See, we females that like females learn the body of our female partner. So we understand the female body. We know what makes you feel good. We know what makes you go crazy. We know because we're a female. We know where we want to be touched or how. We move with intuition and emotional awareness. So we prioritize pleasure, not just performance. We're not trying to jump off the dresser, even though if you want me to, I will, bitch. But we're not trying to do the extra like you have some of these men doing and they're not even pleasing you. We want to literally take you there. We create an experience that's felt, not faked. Even if you have a straight woman or a DL woman that's just curious, once they get touched by a lesbian or a female that likes female, obsession starts. So a lot of DL straight women have a lot of trauma. It's just not attraction. It's fear, shame, repression, and heartbreak too. They could have been raised in strict or religious households. Others were judged when showed affection to girls. When a lesbian holds space for them to talk about these things, it activates healing and desire. Also, lesbians just love you differently. Women that likes women doesn't have to be a lesbian. If you just like a girl, you just love women differently. I will see your body without judgment. I will hold you with intention, not just to be holding you. The relationship is normally based on real love, not just gender roles. So the love just hits different. And sometimes it can scare them. It can scare them. It can scare a straight down low woman. She's so used to toxic and chaotic experiences that she don't know how to handle real love when it's shown to her. Also, let's talk about when in the bedroom act. So most straight women are used to sex that is fast, performance-based. It's only focused on the man's pleasure and lack real emotional presence. But when a woman that likes women touches you, it's intentional, observant, and sensual. They're not just trying to make you finish. They're trying to watch how you breathe, reading your reactions, loving your body. Let's not forget that statistics have shown that most straight women don't even climax. Most climax that comes out of sexual relationships is woman on woman. Most of the time when I do sleep with straight women, the first thing they'll say, I didn't even know my body could do that. Yeah, because you had all the wrong people touching it. Their mind is going to be spinning out the way. It's just not sex, it's an awakening. Most of the time, even when they try to shake it off, they won't forget it. I have always seen the women, especially the straight ones that I have slept with, Sometimes they either become full-blown lesbians or they start dating other women right away. So sometimes it does take that one person to dig it out of them. But bitch, you got the patience.
Y'all say y'all know pain, but y'all don't know pain until when your homegirl tries to you. I feel like, oh, DL boys, everybody calls DL boys, but like, no, DL girls are real too. Like, it's just not taking it seriously, like, as a big deal, because it's a trend to be gay. Like, the woman love women is girls faking their sexuality. Like, why? I don't understand it. Okay, so I had a homegirl, and she was like one of my girls. Like, if you've seen me, you've seen her, like that type. And I always felt like she was a little, like, you know, like, bi. I thought she was bi. But she always uses that, like, claim her that she was straight. Like, anytime I would say, girl, you know you like girls, she'd be like, no, I'm straight. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, stop. Like, da, da, da. I was just like, okay, cool. Because she got really mad when I used to say this about her. So I just always thought, like, okay, maybe she is straight. But, like, little red flags I would notice is just, like, when I was talking about my boyfriend with her, and it was, like, good stuff, like, oh, he just got me this, or, like, just good stuff about the relationship, period, she will always, like, have something negative to say about it. Like, oh, but don't forget da-da-da, or da-da-da, or be like, he could do, like, stuff like that. But anytime it was something negative to say about the relationship, like, if we had an argument, I would go tell her, oh, she had a whole lot to say. Like, it was the best day of her life. Like, she's been waiting for this conversation. Like, she's, like, plotting on us to break up. So I stopped telling her stuff about the relationship, period, because I felt like that was really weird, and I just kept the relationship on, like, silent. But, like, at school, that's when she started to, like, touch me. Like, first, like, she would just, like, touch my shoulders and just, like, do this slow on my chest. And, like, at first I didn't say nothing because, like, girls are girls. Like, I had a phase where I was like that. Okay, cool. But it was getting to a point where at school she would literally try to put her hand in my pants, and I was just like, I'm not, I told her my boyfriend was uncomfortable with that, because I didn't really want to say I was uncomfortable with it, because I didn't want her, because she's really sensitive. She'll really get, like, irritated and, like, sad really fast. So I didn't want her to feel like, oh, I don't know, I just didn't want her to, like, get upset. So I was just like, no, my boyfriend said you have to chill, like, stop doing that. Like, I always be like, what the hell are you doing? She was just like, oh, my bad. But then the next day, she would start touching me again, like, touching, like, not in my pants, but like, she would just start touching my ass, like, in my ass, right, like, dead ass. Like, I would just be, like, so uncomfortable. Like, I would just be like, oh my God, like, why are you me? So I told her, can you stop doing that? Like, I don't like that. Like, I told her, me personally, I don't like that. Like, oh, my bad, girl, I just be playing, like, taking it as a joke. So everything moved on. I moved on from it. She moved on from it. But we was having a sleepover at my house, and it's a friend group of 4. No, it was a friend group of 4, but the sleepover was only 3 of us because the girl got in trouble. So it was only 3 of us there. Homegirls playing games, trolling, calling our exes. But my homegirl, one of them left because it's a just now every time it's a nigga. She went to go see her nigga who lived in my neighborhood. Okay, cool. So it's just us 2, and I really didn't feel no type of way about it because, like, after that situation, nothing ever happened like that again. So blah blah blah. I'm going to sleep. I just getting towards that time to go to sleep, and I'm like sleep. But when I'm with my friends, I be having my headphones on because they be on the phone, and she was on the phone, and I just want to go to sleep, so I have my headphones on, like, while I'm sleeping, like my headphones on. I like Beats like headphones. I'm asleep. I just feel all my thoughts. And I'm just like, I just open my eyes like, what the fuck? Like, am I dreaming? Like, what the going on? She's literally trying to get in my pants again. Like, oh my God, I was so uncomfortable. I was literally froze, y'all. Y'all don't understand. I was froze. It was so uncomfortable. Like, I wanted to die. Like, I literally wanted to die. But it didn't get no further than that because I turned around and I was like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, my bad. No, not your bad. You know what you were doing. Me and her, we stopped talking after that. Like, it just got real awkward in the friendship. And she was one of my favorite homegirls. But now we're not even cool.
People always talking about DL men, but there's a whole lot of DL women out there. There's a lot of DL women that they come across as, like, being friendly or acting like your friend. Let the right opportunity come. Let the right situation come where y'all 2 is alone or where y'all been drinking or anything like that and your inhibitions are down. Let that opportunity come. All of a sudden, this is gay. All of a sudden, want to kiss, want to hunch. DL women, there. And if I was a betting woman, I bet you that there's more DL women than there are DL men. I bet you. And the reason that I say that is because it's more socially acceptable for women to do same-sex things, same-sex activities than it is for men. A man could be DL and not even doing anything. But these women, they be doing shit and getting away with it just because they're women. Just because nobody's going to check them and say anything about it.
Let's talk about these down low women. Let's talk about the women that try to be your friend only to try to sleep with you. That don't get talked about enough. Like we talk about DL men all the time, but we don't talk about the women that try to be your friend and they get to know you. Y'all get to hanging out a little bit, and they get to throwing their little stuff out there trying to see if you gonna catch it. And you basically let them know, like, look, I ain't like that. You listen to their experiences or whatever, but you let them know that you're not like that. And then next thing you know, they creating a problem because they can't sleep with you. We don't talk about that. We talk about DL men all the time, but we don't talk about these chicks that just want to be your friend and try to sleep with you. And I have had that experience a couple of times. Like, for real. Like, people have acted as if they wanted to be my friend, go out, hang out, and then start creating problems once I guess I wasn't catching on to what they wanted to do. Or I wasn't down with it. And then they create a problem. But nobody don't talk about that. Nobody don't talk about the DL women. Like, it's considered cute and sexy, but to me it's not cool. Especially when I'm thinking that we bonding and you my friend and, whole time you just like a dude. You just waiting your turn. You just acting like, at least with dudes you already know for the most part. But with a woman, you thinking, hey, I got me a new friend. And they usually start off on the internet. I noticed that. In your inbox, hey, boo. Oh, you look so cute. Baddie, tens, da-da-da. You thinking like, okay, sis ain't no hater. She liking my pictures or whatever like that. Because I'm like that. I'm a girl's girl. I'm liking your pictures. I'm telling you how cute you look and this, that. Whole time they plotting like the dudes. In your inbox, her eyes, they plotting. So just be careful with that, y'all, because you thinking you about to, you got a little friendship, y'all building a friendship. Nah, baby, they trying to sleep with you, honey. They want to be more than friends. They want to be, what. So just be careful, y'all. People don't talk about that enough.
A woman came to me a little while back, and now I want to talk to you guys about it. Now, this woman is in her late 30s. She told me that she's been dealing with girls off and on since she was 16 years old. Now, she's never been with women seriously, but she has been with men seriously. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Now, when I'm talking to a woman, I always ask them how they label themselves. And it's not out of judgment, it's out of curiosity. When you assume, you make an ass out of yourself. And that's why I don't like to do that. So like I said, I asked her and she told me that she's straight. Oh, okay. That's interesting. So I asked her, if you're straight, what exactly do you want from me? And she tells me that she's interested in me and she wants to get to know me better. And that's when I had to stop and really think. How many coochies do you look as a woman before you're not straight anymore? You're straight, but you love the scissor. And I'm not talking about arts and crafts. I really want to know, how many interactions do you as a woman have with another woman before we can revoke your straight card? A lot of women will get on TikTok and drag DL men all day, and rightfully so. But a lot of women are doing the exact same thing. It's just with women. A lot of y'all sleep with women casually and you still call yourself straight. And let me be clear, I'm not trying to tell anybody who they are. If you tell me your name is Rocco, damn it, I'm calling you Rocco. Because I believe in respecting people the same way that I want to be respected. But there is something when you decide to move through the world under the guise of being straight, knowing that you're not. That just doesn't seem right to me. Because being straight comes with privilege. It comes with access. When you're straight, you're automatically accepted by your family, by your churches, and your community. And you're also culturally affirmed, especially in the entertainment industry and media. Being straight is the default. I came out the closet when I was 15 years old. I'm 30 now. That's 15 years of living out loud, dealing with the homophobia, dealing with the dirty looks, and even violence. So when someone comes to me calling themselves straight, but behind closed doors wanting to do things with me, I am immediately turned off. If you're straight, Be straight. I know plenty of straight women who aren't attracted to women that way. I know plenty of straight women that can get drunk around their friends and not wanting to munch on them and bump with them.
There's this TikToker that shares like a lot of UK lives, dramas from a lot of like UK creators, like well-known people from the UK, you know, whenever there's drama or whatever. And I think there's this guy called Junior, and he was on live and he said like at a certain age, you know, you should be coming out. Like, why are you hiding your sexuality? You know, living a life that's a lie, getting married to a woman when you know you like men, things like that. And I'm seeing the comments, and the comments are from straight black women saying, yeah, like, I don't know why they're hiding, they need to come out, it's 2025, be who you are, da da. And I'm like, because I can guarantee you, the women in that comment section, they've called a man gay at least once for doing something that is not even related to being gay. A man cheats on his girlfriend a lot with other women, gay. A man spends time with his friends, gay. A man gets a pedicure, gay. Like, please stop acting like black women or the black community in general is accepting of people coming out. And we know that you don't even care about, you know, them being gay or them being well supported or anything like that. You're just worried about being in love or marrying someone who might be DL or something in the future. Don't act like your concern is genuine.
I made a post about how black women suddenly become bisexual when they get drunk. And there's so many people in the comments talk about preferences. This is not a preference conversation. If an openly bisexual man tells you that he's bisexual and you look at him with disgust, knowing that you rub on your homegirls, kiss on your homegirls, bump cats with your homegirls, when you get a little liquor in the system, sis, you are part of the problem. Because see, you're allowed to experiment with your sexuality because you don't identify as bisexual. Let's clear that up. Because y'all don't be identifying as bisexual. Y'all just gay for the moment or whatever. But as soon as a bisexual man comes out and makes it known, all of a sudden you're disgusted. I don't like that. And I don't care what y'all say in my comments. I don't want to hear shit about preferences because we're talking about openly bisexual men, not closeted down low men. Openly bisexual men and closeted down low men are not the same. But I don't like how y'all getting real rambunctious in my comments. And that for the people that have DM me, baby, I don't give. I'm just gonna block. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. I don't give. You're wrong as hell. Allow people to explore their sexuality just like you explore your sexuality when you drink a little bit of lemon drop. Thank you.
I'm like really watching a football game for the first time. This shit's gay. It's gay. I saw 4 men piled on top of each other for God knows why. Was that necessary? I don't really think it was. Their tights are incredibly tight on their body. Very form-fitting attire. They're just smacking each other and hitting each other and laying on top of each other and bending over in front of each other. I don't know. Football is gay. And that's why it's my new favorite thing to watch.
What you say, gay or straight does not matter. It's the individual. Equating somebody's sexual preference to their behavior is dumb. It is extremely dumb. It is so damn dumb. And I cannot believe, it seems like every day we are learning and finding out that so many black women that we always encourage and support are actually buying into some immature, sick like this. Like dead. It's like, this is gotta be the craziest to sit and watch and witness some people run behind like this. This is crazy. Somebody sent me something where this man said, if a man played any sport that is dealing with a ball, he's DL. Listen to me. This dizzy host said, if a man played any sport dealing with a ball, he's DL. And when you look at the women in the comments, they are entertaining and feeding to it. One woman I seen, she said, hold up now, my husband played football, and this mother gonna tell her, ask him what happened in the locker room. So you gonna ask your husband that. I ain't gonna even lie, friend. If you married, that make it worse, and you feed into that, and if you go and ask your husband or show your husband some like that, he needs to divorce your ass. He need to. He needs to. Because there's no way in hell y'all this goddamn dumb. A man that plays sports, any sports dealing with a ball, he's DL. When does it stop? Do y'all really, do y'all believe it? Or y'all really just needed a place to be homophobic?
I attracted the most men when I looked closer to a man. I was a bodybuilder for 2 years, and when I looked like this and this, I attracted the most men, and that really started making me think about what men are attracted to, and it really did kind of put the thought in my head that these men are attracted to men subconsciously. It's deep in their brain that what they're actually attracted to is how a man looks. They just want the internal of a woman. And I kind of feel like it's the same for women on the opposite spectrum, but that's a different video if I ever make it. But I think for a lot of men, obviously this won't go for all of them, but I think for a lot of men on a deeper level, they want femininity in a woman because it is a display of submissiveness, because men are always going to pick a woman based off the approval that they are going to gain from other men. And if this is a very submissive man himself, and he cares a lot about what other people think about him, a lot of men will try to overcompensate by wanting to be with a woman who is wearing makeup, she's dressed up, very girly, she has a high level of hyper femininity, because no one is then going to question his sexuality. A lot of these men don't want a woman because she's feminine. They want a woman because she knows how to display that she's not a man. Does that also mean that you like it in the opposite sex? Because let's think about it. When men want to get muscles, who are they typically looking at for inspiration? They're typically looking at other men, right? And I think this is why the trans community gets so much flack, because I think if men were to live in their truth, if men wouldn't become trans, they would be more open about wanting to deal with trans women, because men want the best of both worlds. Men essentially want someone externally to match them while internally being a woman, because men understand that they cannot gain any benefit from a man. So, of course, me highlighting those attributes didn't really take away from the fact that, I know how to have empathy, I know how to be nurturing, I know how to be caring, and me being in that state really did highlight the fact to me that, on a deeper level, men really do want to be like men. It's just they like the femininity performance of women because that is what's acceptable. I was more masculine in my thinking. I was more binary in my thinking, more black and white, less nuance. I would dare to say less intellectual even, I would go as far as to say. And so I think for a lot of men, they really do want someone that highlights these physical characteristics and mental characteristics of a man, while your internal, where your heart is as a woman, they want to be able to use that and exploit that for their own benefit because they understand that there is no other worldly source that they're going to be able to get that from aside from a woman, because we are the life source. And so this is the reason why a lot of these men will be DL, because physically they are attracted to men. Emotionally, they want to be with a woman, because there's been studies done on men that train regularly at the gym, and how their level of fitness also correlates to their level of actually being attracted to men. It's actually a very, very high correlation between the two, because men want to look a certain way to impress a certain demographic while also somewhat trying to fit in the mold of not looking gay. A lot of these men, they're picking feminine women just simply because they don't want to look gay. And then what will happen is that they'll get somebody feminine, and then they want you to no longer wear makeup. They want you to start hitting the gym. They want you to start losing weight. They start complaining about your curves. They start complaining about your extra belly fat. Yeah, because they really want a man. They just don't want the world to know that they want a man.
I smell a little crack in you. Okay. What's my biggest dating red flag?
Is it being on the DL?
You're on the right track. I have my answer.
Is it close enough?
You want to guess one more time? What would be a red flag for me?
Bad music taste?
Oh, that is a good one.
Because that's one for me.
That is a good one.
Like,
But that's
what
not
do you
what I
mean
put.
you don't listen to Michael Jackson? But okay.
Okay. This is a huge red flag for me.
All right. You know what's so crazy? I was going to say men.
I mean, strike one. You're a man.
Yeah.
And you're heterosexual.
Yeah. I was going to say, so
Now, also got to highlight this comment here because if anybody was a part of the live stream, much love, respect, and appreciation, and thank you for being a part of the live stream. So when we did the live stream, we went over a lot of these videos, right? And it is crazy to me how we have so many of the opinions directly out there where you have women that don't want to focus on the issue and the problem of other women who want to portray as being straight within the Black community and sleeping with and being with other women as if that is an okay, as if it's an all right thing. It doesn't make any sense. If we're going to say that it's wrong for Black men to do, right, which is basically lying, you're living a double life and you're not letting your partners know what is going on, again, that is wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. You're not only putting yourself at jeopardy, but you're putting everybody else's health and lives at jeopardy as well because you want to be selfish. It should be the exact same things when it deals with women. At no point in time should there be any quarter given, should there be any excuses given, or any type of things trying to be substantiated in order to say that, oh, when women do it, it's completely fine. And nah, it's not, because as stated before, whenever we talk about the whole issue of DL Black men, people always say like, oh, it's a danger, the STD rates, the HIV and the infection rates when it deals with Black women, because all of these Black men, right, the huge generalizations. But you got so many Black women out here, and again, a lot of men, because I can't, in a sense, really depend on fields of women, to be honest. You have a lot of Black men can sit up there and tell you that they've been out in public and just seen women who are quote unquote straight rubbing and touching and feeling on one another, and they're just like, oh no, this is just something normal that women do. It don't have anything to do with being interested in another woman or being, a lesbian or being in a relationship with another. It's just something that women do. And I'm like, no, that's you are a part of the LGBT, man. I'm sorry to tell you that is exactly what it is, because we all know if we reverse the roles and you go out in public and you see two men basically touching on one another the same way that women touch on each other, everybody's going to sit up and say that, okay, you guys are gay. And it's going to be that flat, plain, and simple. But again, when it deals with women, it's always this type of dance where, people want to show, some type of grace. It's like, it's not really like that. It's a woman appreciating, another woman and, and giving her validation and, and her respect. And, and when women, do it, it's a type of like affirmation. And people try to make it seem like this is like some real deep type of poetry, and I'm like, nah, it's actually it's on the surface. It's very simple to see directly what it is. It's just that people don't want to be honest directly about it. And as stated before, going back to the video that was listed, there was a Black gay male who decided that he wanted to throw his hat directly into the ring, and he had to come out here and just basically defend straight Black men. And I'm like, that's how crazy that this has gotten, because this is not something that you will really see. This is a rare occurrence. This is a ultra rare occurrence to see something like this, right? Where a guy that really doesn't have, any fight directly in here is like, yo, y'all acting way too crazy now. It's like y'all saying some stuff that's really not making the type of sense. So let me sit up there and set both of y'all straight real quick. And I'm like, wow, it's gotten to that point. And one of the main things that he noted, and I love the comment that he made, where I have to paraphrase, he was basically saying like, are, in a sense, Black women just looking for a place to be homophobic? And from my point of view, I would say yes. Because the exact same demographic who say that they love and they care for the LGBT and that they support the LGBT and the things that they just so happen to do and the way that they also live their lives are the exact same ones who will look at straight black men in their community, and the first thing out of their mouth when they have a disagreement or they don't like something or whatnot, whatever, the main go-to is saying that black man is gay. The main thing is to go attack that black man's sexuality, knowing the fact that man is nowhere near gay. So yes, yeah, it would be. And as other people stated before, that it's weird and it's crazy how women will quote unquote look a certain type of way when you have openly bisexual men directly out here and they're stating what it is. They're living their life, how it is that they want to live their life, and then you got to face. Also knowing the fact that you're living a double life as well, but you want to project. So in reality, you're mad that this person can be accepted by whoever directly out there. They can be happy, they can live the life that they want to live, and other people are completely fine with them too. You're mad that they can do that because you want to be able to do it, but you know that you realistically can't because you decided the circumstances of your life and how it is that you want to sit up there and live your life. You're not willing to sacrifice, to shed whatever it is that you need to shed, or leave behind whatever it is that you need to leave behind, because you feel that it is so important and it is so integral to your life that you can't drop it so that you can be who it is that you want to sit up there and be outwardly and openly. That's some crazy work. That's diabolical. And in a sense, as people have stated before, that's very homophobic of you. Crazy work. Diabolical. And there's also this narrative that people want to spend time and time again, especially in the black community, where a lot of folks want to specifically talk about black men, and they want to be like, oh, well, black men are the most homophobic guys directly, or people directly out here when it deals with anybody else. And I'm like, actually, no, because a lot of black men don't care if you're gay, bi, tri, whatever it is. A lot of black men do not care. We mind our business. Like it's not an issue up until you make it an issue. It's not an issue up until you want to throw it blatantly in somebody's face and say, look at me, look at me, look at me, and pay attention, and all this other, like we don't got time for that. We don't got time for that. It's all right, you're gay, you're gay. You're bi, you're whatever, you're whatever. It's whatever. We're moving on. We're not about to stay on that exact same topic because there's no reason to sit up there and fixate and stay directly on it. It's like, all right, but because at the end of the day, everybody is human. So it's like, all right, we're just going to move around. That's it. Right. But because a lot of black men tend to move in that way when it deals with really not trying to fixate and stay directly on that topic, within that, a lot of people want to say that we are homophobic. Because we don't want to stay on the exact same topic for 365 days a year. We're not trying to dissect the topic. We're not trying to learn, definitions and all this other type of stuff that people want to, make and put directly, because we don't got no time. We got more stuff to do. We got more pressing issues to worry about, where it deals with money, it deals with our health, it deals with bills, it deals with family, it deals with our kids, it deals with the women that we are with. It deals with a variety of other things that have nothing to do with however it is that somebody decides to live their life. All right, so during the live stream, I wanted to specifically go over this video, and I had, a little bit of a discussion directly about it, because this was one of, there were a few, but this was one of the main disturbing videos here, where a woman was explaining how she was basically assaulted by way of another woman. Now, I want to note from me, I take all of these as serious as I do with everything else. I judge them all equally. I will treat them all equally. But even within me doing that, again, trying to perform some type of balance directly out here, because a lot of people say that they believe in equality, I see as though that when women are explaining these things, and she stated that she was uncomfortable. She stated that she froze. She stated that she was like, yo, what is going on here? I don't even know what to do, and all this other type of stuff. And it's like, I'm looking at her explain it, and I'm like, yo, you should be filing a police report. You should be going directly to the police about this. You should be filing a restraining order, like this person needs to be thrown behind bars. Like, this is not okay. Because if she was explaining this and a man did all of these things to her, we already know how the whole world will react. We already know how black women in the black community will react specifically when it deals with these details. But for whatever reason, people don't tend to see it in that exact same way, because I guess it only matters if a man does it. It's only important if a man does it. And I'm not trying to hear the whole thing of like, oh well, everybody reacts different. I'm not trying to know. I'm tired of hearing that. I'm tired of hearing it. Because like I said, wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong. If a crime was committed, a crime was committed. She listed all of the proof directly out there to state the crime that was committed against her. I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to hear none of this. I'm not trying to hear none of this. And then she also stated that she was either around or seen this person, you know, basically a few times. And this happened roughly every single time. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, when does it get to the point where it's like, yeah, you know, something did happen, but it's like, why are you going to keep putting yourself around that exact same person? And I know some people are like, oh, you're blaming the victim. It's like, yeah, because it comes to a certain point in time where it's like, don't be stupid. If you obviously know that, quote unquote, this person who was playing to be straight and they're not is interested in you and they're trying to be all up on you and you don't want it, the first time that it happens, you should not put yourself anywhere near the same area or venue as that person for them to be able to have the ability to do the exact same thing again. That doesn't make any sense. That looks dumb and stupid directly on your part. And it's like, were you, you know, really in a sense actually assaulted, or are you, you know, just confused and you don't know what it is that you really want to sit up there and do, and you want to come online and tell people so that you can get a general consensus so that you can actually make up your mind instead of you making up your mind for yourself? Like, which one realistically is it? Because for me, I would want to sit up there and press charges for her. But again, I would be the one that's wrong, right? I somehow, some way, people say that I am the one that's wrong and all this other type of stuff because I'm viewing this the exact same way if a man would have done this to her. But, you know, like I said before, I guess everybody really ain't about equality and distributing, you know, the exact same punishments and justice that they would if a man were to have done this would get. They don't want to give that exact same energy for women when they commit these crimes. And that's why I said before, the more and more that people allow these things to transpire and take place, the worse it's going to get. The more that people want to just specifically and just solely focus on men, the worse that a lot of these things are going to just so happen to get. The higher the stats are going to go, and it's going to get to a point where you're not going to be able to close Pandora's box directly on this. It's going to be open, and there's nothing that you're going to be able to do about it when women are, you know, going out there and doing all of these things that, you know, you complain that men are out here doing, right? And rightfully so, right? When women go out here and do these exact same thing, there's nothing you're going to be able to do. Nothing. But like I said, I don't know, man. There's a lot of issues out here when it deals with this situation and in this conversation dealing with DL women. Like I said, one woman in another video at the sort of the tail end, I forgot where I placed their video, but she basically said within a 24-hour period she had 2 sexual partners. And at no point in time did she talk about protection. Did she talk about a my chart or knowing a person's status? Did she even talk about that she even actually knew the people for a very long time? She just moved from one person to another person. But yet you have a lot of black women out here that want to quote and talk about STD rates. But you got a lot of women that are like, oh, I could sit up there and do stuff and have fun with a woman, and we don't have to use protection because we're a woman and we know that we're not dirty and all this. I'm like, okay, yeah. Keep telling and believing that fairy tale if you want to. Everybody's dirty. You better treat everybody like a dentist. There is not a point in time that a dentist is not wearing gloves when he is working in somebody's mouth. You better have the same viewpoint like a dentist. You masking up and you got gloves directly on. If not, you are stupid, and whatever happens and comes directly to you is whatever happens and comes directly to you because you play stupid games and you're going to win stupid prizes. So like I said, I need people to start, you know, taking acknowledgement, responsibility for the things that they take, you know, part directly in, and stop trying to scapegoat and make it seem like this is just a one-sided, you know, type of deal where it is happening all over the place. It's just that when it's your specific side, meaning the woman out here, when it's your side, you want to ignore it. You don't want to pay attention to it. You want to say that it doesn't exist. You want to say it's some type of scare tactic. It's a fairy tale. That's some crazy word. And this is why a lot of things cannot get fixed, because the lack of accountability and responsibility and acknowledgement of how people put themselves into certain situations, or create certain situations for then problems to occur. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.